You know what, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Random Radio. My name is Joe G. We're doing a little bit different than what we usually do. The energy of the show is a little bit different. It's a little bit more reserved. It's a little bit more thought out. It's a lot less in your face all at once at one time. I'm trying to think of ways to shed light on the person who I have recently come to terms with as my greatest oppressor. A man who uses misdirection and illogicity. Well, I gotta make up a word for that. A man who uses misdirection, misappropriation, fiscal, puts you on a fiscal leash and ties you up. We need to shed a light on this oppression, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Because if you were to stack up the situation and stack up the facts, and not just the perception of the situation, but the reality of the situation, you would see things in such a way that it would make you sick. And every father out there who has ever sacrificed for their kids, it would see a father who is making their kids sacrifice for him. And I think that's maybe the best way that I can put it. But then again, I learned a valuable lesson. I learned that me, Joe G, if I had the choice between eating a can of beans and giving my kid a steak dinner so they can eat and grow up stronger and have a better life than I've had, I would take that sacrifice, not the other way around. In fact, I can tell you specific examples where he has taken from us. The example of something as simple as a television set, which we were given by a friend of our family because we really haven't bought any television sets or anything. We were all had it given to us. We get food from the church, where he has taken that. He is come into this house where he is not supposed to be, and went into our refrigerator and taken food out of our mouths, literally. And now it seems, by his actions and his words to me and different people, that he is trying to create a situation and manipulate a situation in which he has to force his wife to move out of his ex-wife to move out of her home. And he is forcing the manipulation of the situation in such a way where he is trying to force his children to move in with him when they have clearly chosen the parent who has sacrificed the most for them and who has truly taken their parenting role seriously instead of being a faux parent, putting on the facade of being a good parent when it is convenient for them. Maybe I should get interviews for people such as my lawyer and such as the people who have seen this misuse of whatever you may call it. Misuse of guidance. I think it takes, anybody can be a dad, but it takes a great man to be a father and a man. And it's funny because this man isn't even holding good arguments anymore. I am confronting him with situations and destroying his rhetoric before he can even get it out of his mouth. I said to him, look, I'm trying to get a job so I can help out my mother. And I am trying my best to fix my leg problem so I can keep up in the high-paced restaurant business. And then I said, so why are you not helping with this situation? And I said, if I were in your shoes, I would have done anything in my power to make sure my kids and, the people that I signed a legal tenant, a landlord contract were taken care of. And then he says to me, he turns back what I said. So why don't you go get a job? Why don't you try to take care of your mother? Why are you not being a man? Why aren't you manning up? And I said, I wanted to say to him, sir, why aren't you manning up? This is not about me here. I admitted that I am trying my best to get back and on the workforce and not be a drain on society. My own father called me a drain on society and said, and I quote, "You have never done anything to earn respect. You do not deserve my respect. Therefore, I do not have to consult you when I am badgering your lawyer." Well, that's not an I quote. The quote is that you have not done anything to deserve respect, talking about me. I think if you're defined by what you do and what you say, that deserves your respect. I think your loyalty to somebody else is not exactly what you accomplish is a measure of the respect that you should get. Me, I am very loyal. I have lost jobs because of loyalty to friends. I have lost friends because of loyalty to friends. I am true to what I say and true to what I believe in. Meanwhile, this man goes in more circles than most politicians and constantly contradicts himself in the words of wisdom which he tried to impart upon me. And I am sorrowful. I feel bad for this guy, who I will not even call my father. I don't even want to call him my dad. He's just a guy to me. Personally, I don't need him to believe that I have earned respect. I don't need his validation to validate what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do, which isn't, as he thinks, playing on the computer the whole night. I don't think slowly and trying to help make the world a better place by entertaining, spreading love and music and seeing this ripple of effect. I don't think that's just playing on the computer. I'm trying to build something. When he wanted to go open his restaurant in Florida and he left his family for close to 3 or 4 years, I supported him. Even though I was only 5 years old, I didn't know what was going on. I supported him, and I never questioned. I never got angry at him for not being around. But yet, when I try to open my own business and I try to build something from the ground up, not just buying a building and putting and mishmashily throwing things together and oh, let me open a restaurant. Yeah, that's great. No, I am trying to carve out my own personal niche in this industry. I am trying to do what has been done before only by media greats, which probably hasn't been done since the early days of CBS or Fox or I'm talking about following in the footsteps of innovation of the likes of Sumter Redstone and that young woman who started her own DC media company. I saw it on Fox the other day. And Rupert Murdoch and all of these media greats, and I'm trying to innovate. And yet he thinks it is just playing around with my computer, yet he refuses to go to my radio station and check out my show and see what I have built, which is not nothing. See what we have built, the coalition, not just me by myself. I have enough respect from the outside world to get people to help me, regardless of what he thinks or what he says. I do not need to validate myself to him, but he is going to need to validate himself and his actions or inactions and his rhetoric to the world. And I plan to do that, or help find some way to do that and get the truth out there. Because the truth needs to be told of this situation.